If you're watching this on YouTube, some of you might be watching this on the PlayStation Network. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out the channel. This is a created franchise on MLB The Show 20. It's called the BRONX KNIGHTS. They've been wedged into the American League West. They've taken the place of the Houston Astros. As you can see, the standings are on the screen right now. It is my intention to play every inning of every game of a 162-game schedule and beyond, see how far I can get in the playoffs and so on and so forth. Thank you for joining me. The Knights are in first place. They have 73 wins and 37 losses. And they have an 11.5 game lead over the second place Seattle Mariners. It is the beginning of August. Let's jump into the calendar. So as you can see, it's a 4-game set at Safeco Field. It's not Safeco anymore. The point is it's at Seattle. So we won the first game of this 4-game set, 11-4. So it's game number 2 of this 4-game set against the second place Mariners. Let's jump in and play this game. Play game. Okay. Full game. We are the away team, obviously. It's now called T-Mobile Park. Starting pitcher, Patrick Joseph. We got some people that are tired. Mattingly is going to sit down. Who plays first base? Who can also play first base? Let's see. Who plays first base? Oh, Michael O'Rourke can play first base. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put Michael O'Rourke at first, and we'll have Mattingly in left field, played by Hunter Renfroe. Okay. Benny Cicero is going to be Manuel Margot. Termini staying where he is. Milo, Saps, looks good. Let me just switch up the lineup a little bit. Margot is going to hit second. Termini is going to be behind Salazar. Saps is going to be in front of Renfroe, and Renfroe will hit last. Boom. So as you can see, the second baseman of the BRONX KNIGHTS, his name is Chris Ramos, and in the American League, he's in first place in home runs with 44 homers with 2 months of the season left. This could be a historic season. We shall see, said the blind man. We shall see. So, welcome to BRONX KNIGHTS Baseball. I am your announcer, RC Robin, and the BRONX KNIGHTS are here at Safeco Field. Sorry, I'm going to call it Safeco, visiting the Seattle Mariners. On the mound for the Mariners is Eduardo Rodriguez. He's making his 22nd start of the season. His record is 7-6 with a 4.22 earned run average. And leading off for the Knights is Mighty Max Lukelich, center fielder, hitting .321, 4 homers, 30 RBIs. He also has 31 stolen bases. Switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty Rodriguez. And he skies it, short right field, over the shoulder catch for the second baseman for the first out. Starting lineup for the Knights, Max Lukelich leads off, Manuel Margot is in right, Chris Ramos at second, Michael O'Rourke is at first today. Jacob Salazar is the DH, Matt Termini is at third, Saps is the shortstop, Anthony Millo is the catcher, and batting ninth is Hunter Renfroe in right field. Manuel Margot, part-time player, hitting .330 on the season, steps in with 1 out. And it's a line drive the other way, base hit, first hit of the ball game to the right side. And the BRONX KNIGHTS have a base runner with 1 out here in the first. There's a replay. Big high kick. So Chris Ramos steps to the plate. He's hitting .372 on the season, 44 homers, 111 RBIs. He leads the ball club in all 3 categories. Switch hitter also batting from the right side against the lefty. Quick throw to first. Margot is back. Checks his swing up in the dirt. Blocked nicely by the catcher, Gary Carter. Count is 1 ball and no strikes on Ramos. Low, 2-0. Paul Molitor. I believe that he is the third baseman today. That's a line drive the other way, almost identical to Margot's hit. And there'll be runners at first and second with nobody out here in the top of the first. They are threatening. Just kind of went with it the other way. Poked it between first and second. So the cleanup man, Michael O'Rourke, usually plays left field. Today he's the first baseman, hitting .347, 29 homers, 86 runs batted in. Takes outside corner, strike one. He's also carrying a 12-game hitting streak into this game. Runners lead off first and second with nobody out. Outside corner. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Did he check it? Yes, he did. Outside, count is 1 and 2. Woody Keller is the man counting the balls and the strikes behind the plate. So Rodriguez sets and delivers. And that's a line drive over the head of Paul Molitor at third. And it's going to be station to station baseball. Bases are loaded now with 1 out. And that's a 13-game hitting streak for Michael. Nice piece of hitting. He just served it the other way over the head of the third baseman. So next up is the shortstop, Jacob Salazar, hitting .325, 13 homers, 69 runs batted in. Check that. He is the designated hitter today. Today the shortstop is Matthew Saps, but his bases loaded and 1 out here in the first. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit, and it will be probably an RBI. No, check that. The runner rounds third and heads home. It is a 2-run single for Jacob Salazar here in the top of the first, and they have quickly a 2-0 lead here at T-Mobile Park. This is a replay. No chance for the center fielder to get that second runner. So next up is Matt Termini, the third baseman, hitting .310, 7 homers, 54 runs batted in. Takes a pitch low and outside, ball 1. Runners at first and third with only 1 out. 2-0 lead for the Bronx Knights. Second game of a 4-game set. Quick throw to first, Salazar's back. Pitch is high, count is 2 balls and no strikes to the third baseman.
No strike.
At the knees, strike 1, count is 2 balls, 1 strike. Runners lead off first and third. He can get that run home from third without the benefit of a base hit. Let's see what he does. And he pulls the line drive into the seats, foul. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it is a shallow bloop into right field. That's going to be an RBI single for Matt Termini. And the score is now 3-0. Knights lead. Just takes it the other way. Inside pitch. Inside outs it to right field. So still only 1 out. Matt Saps, who usually bounces around the infield. Today he's the shortstop, hitting .286, 21 homers, 69 runs batted in. Runners are at first and second, still only 1 out. And he pulls it high and deep, but curving into the seats, out of play. 6 for his last 12. He's been hot last couple of games. Jams him with the cut fastball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. T-Mobile Park. It's hard to get used to that. It's always known as Safeco Field, but ground ball up the middle and through. It is a base hit. The runner rounds third and heads home. It's going to be an RBI single for Matthew Saps, and Matthew Termini makes it to third base. It's a 4-0 lead for the Knights. Still only 1 out. Again, that throw to third, taking that extra bag, and now he can get home without the benefit of a hit. Third base and less than 2 outs. So next up is the catcher, Anthony Millo. .246, 9 homers, 45 runs batted in. It's a 4-0 lead. Chases a high fastball for strike 1. Quick throw to first. Swing and a miss. Cut that. Check that. The changeup over the top. Count is 0-2 on Milo. Bronx Knights are 73-37, and this is the first week of August in this 162-game schedule. Strike 3 called at the knees. Milo does not like the call, but in any event, there are 2 outs, and now they're going to need a base hit to get that runner home from third. So the number 9 hitter today is Hunter Renfroe, 276 in part-time play. Checks his swing. Ball 1. Bronx Knights are a created franchise that have been inserted into the American League West.
Ball 1.
1 ball and 1 strike on Renfroe. They've taken the place of the Houston Astros. They're in first place in August. In fact, we'll have to talk about it in a second because it's a deep drive towards the gap, and it will be gonzo. It is a 2-run home run for Hunter Renfroe, his 3rd of the season, and it is just like that, a 6-run first for the Bronx Knights here at T-Mobile Park. So they won the first of this 4-game set 11-3, check that, 11-4, and now they come out here in the first with their hitting hats on and score 6 runs in the top of the first. So as I was saying, obviously the manager of the Seattle Mariners has seen enough. It's going to the bullpen here in the first. In relief steps J.B. Wendelken, making his 45th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 3-1 with a 5.96 earned run average. So the Bronx Knights have an 11.5 game lead in the division over the Seattle Mariners. They are the 2nd place team in the American League West, and they'll be 12.5 game behind if this continues. Max Lukulich, the leadoff man, playing center field, steps up, takes outside, ball 1. It popped out in the first inning. Checks his swing, count is 2 balls and no strikes. And he pulls the changeup foul, count is 2-1. It's a 7-0 lead for the Bronx Knights. Here with 2 outs in the top of the first. Backdoor slider, strike 2, count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the first inning. Pulls it down the first base line, foul ball. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch coming, Manuel Margot, the man on deck. That's a line drive up the middle. It is a base hit, and the punishment continues. So they have a base runner on with 2 away. So in his 2nd at-bat in this inning, he gets himself his first hit of the game. So Manuel Margot steps in. He had a single and a run scored in his first at-bat. This is his 2nd at-bat of the inning. Pitches low, ball 1.
1 ball, no strike.
He's 3 for 6 in this series. This is his 2nd start out of the 2 games. And it's a ground ball up the middle. And, oh, I'm sorry, check that. Tatis makes it brilliant. He gets there, but cannot make the play. It's an infield single for Manuel Margot. It was impressive just to get to the ball, but by the time he made the off-balance throw, he couldn't get enough on it to get the speedy Margot at first. So it's runners at first and second with 2 outs as Chris Ramos steps to the plate. He's already 1 for 1. Now he bats from the left side against the righty Wendelken. So switch hitter batting from both sides of the plate in 1 inning. Jams him with the fastball, 96 on the radar gun. Count is 0-1. on the second baseman. And he grounds it to the first baseman. Freeman takes it himself to step on the bag. And finally, mercifully, the side is retired. But not before the Bronx Knights score 7 times. And after a half an inning of baseball, it's 7-0 Knights. Seattle coming to bat. The recipient of all these runs is Patrick Joseph, making his 20th start of the season. His record is 10-4 with a 5.81 earned run average. His ERA is high, but he has 10 wins because he gets a lot of run support. And as you can see, today is no different. He's got a lot of run support. So leading off is Shane Victorino. 290, 13 homers, 49 runs batted in. He will lead off for the Mariners. First pitch of the game from Joseph. Inside corner, strike one. Shane needs 5 hits to get to career hit number 2,000. That is Anthony Millo. No, check that. That's Michael O'Rourke at first base and Manuel Margot in left field. In there, strike 2. Count as no balls and 2 strikes. Curveball low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss at the curveball, and there's 1 away. First batter he faces, he strikes out. This is a replay. So next up, with 1 out, is Fernando Tatis Jr. 284, 22 homers, 64 runs batted in. Outside corner, strike 1. Checks the swing, curveball is low, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Tatis. Fouls off the curveball, count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Late on the fastball, count remains 1-2.
No.
Low and outside, count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss. And there are 2 away. He struck out the first 2 batters he faced. See the replay.
Batting third, the third baseman, Paul Molitor.
With 2 outs, Paul Molitor, the Hall of Fame second baseman, playing third in this fictional universe, is batting .298. I mean, early in his career he played third base, but he's known as a second baseman. He has 12 homers and 48 runs batted in as a member of the Seattle Mariners.
No.
Breaking ball inside, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Molitor. Very Derek Jeter type player. Doubles, speed. He did have some power, but mainly he was a singles and doubles guy. Gold glove type defense. Main differences. Well, he strikes out the side. We'll continue that story another time. After 1 inning of baseball, it's a 7-0 lead for the Bronx Knights. So stepping in, Michael O'Rourke. He's had a hit in his first at-bat. It's the second plate appearance here in the second inning. They batted around in the first. And he flares it into the Bermuda Triangle. He reaches. He does not get there. It drops in between the 3 fielders. And on the first pitch of the top of the second, Michael O'Rourke flares a hit. So batting leaders on the team, batting leaders in the league. Chris Ramos is hitting .372 to lead the American League. As you can see, Michael O'Rourke is number 4 on that list. Jacob Salazar is at the bottom, but he's on the list. So speaking of Jacob Salazar, he steps up. He also had a hit in the first inning. Nobody out here in the top of the second. It's in there, strike 1. So he had a 2-run single in his first at-bat. He's hitting .327 on the season. Jammed him inside. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Salazar. And he flares it out to short left field. Benintendi is there. He makes the catch for the first out. Defensive alignment for the Seattle Mariners in the outfield from left to right. It's Benintendi, Victorino, and Cruz. And in the infield, Paul Molitor, Fernando Tatis Jr., Cavan Biggio, son of Craig Biggio, Freddie Freeman, and Hall of Fame catcher Gary Carter. So next up is Matt Termini. He has an RBI single himself. He's hitting .312 on the season. Steps in with a runner at first and 1 out. And he's out in front on the changeup. Strike 1. And he's off. Pitches high. Throw down to second is not in time. If I am not mistaken, that is stolen base number 20 on the season for Michael O'Rourke. And he's in scoring position now for Termini. At the knees, strike 2. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. O'Rourke leads off second. And he's a little late on it as it slices into the seats, a foul ball. Pitches outside, count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the second. It's a 7-0 lead for the Knights here at T-Mobile Park. And the count will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here comes the payoff pitch. And he wraps it down the third base line. It is a foul ball, and we will do it again. Jams him inside. Foul ball. Here comes pitch number 9 of this at-bat. It's been a struggle on both ends. Chases the pitch maybe, but protecting the plate with 2 strikes. Count remains full. O'Rourke still leads off second here with 1 out in the top of the second inning. And that's a line drive which will dunk in there for a base hit. He makes the turn. He's heading home. Throw cut off to the plate. It is an RBI single for Matt Termini. And it is an 8-0 lead for the Knights. Let's look at the replay. Aggressive base running and turning around third for O'Rourke. I thought for sure. Now he hustled it around. No chance really. Maybe a better throw might have made it, but. So next up is Matthew Saps. He has an RBI single in the first. Still only 1 out. Pitches inside, ball 1.
1-0.
Big lead over there for Termini at first base.
That's down, ball 2.
Just low. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Matthew Saps has 70 runs batted in on the season for the Knights with that RBI in the first inning. Quick throw to first. Termini's back. Two balls, no strikes, 1 out here in the top of the second. Outside corner, paints it. 2 balls, 1 strike. And he's going, pitches outside, strong throw down. Oh, he got him. That was a perfect throw, and there's now 2 outs and the bases are empty. That's what you get for trying to steal with an 8-run lead. Really no call for it. So with 2 away, the count is 3 balls and 1 strike on Saps. Hitters count.
Ball 4. Outside.
Pitches outside, ball 4, he walks him. So instead of 2 runners on and 1 away, there's 1 runner on and 2 away because of the caught stealing.
Number 43.
So next up is the catcher, Anthony Miller, who's 0 for 1. Struck out in the first, struck out looking. Down and in, ball 1. 45 runs batted in is certainly not third on the team. It's more like 7th or 8th. I don't know what's wrong with that statistician. Slider is high, count is 2 balls and no strikes. Saps leads off first with 2 down. And he yanks it to left for a solid base hit. And they are threatening again with 2 outs. There's runners at first and second. And the lineup is on fire today. So, 3-run home run for Hunter Renfroe in the top of the first. This is his second at bat. Oh, he may have another one. This one is deep, but playable. Benintendi, with his foot on the warning track, makes the catch to retire the side. So, but they do get a run. And after an inning and a half of baseball, it's the Bronx Knights 8, the Seattle Mariners nothing. So we go to the bottom of the second. Nelson Cruz steps to the plate. 281, 22 homers, 77 runs batted in. And Patrick Joseph deals. At the knees, strike 1. Slow roller. Termini charges, fires, 1 away. Defensive alignment today for the Bronx Knights. It's Hunter Renfroe in the outfield, Lukelich in center, Margot in right. Termini at third, Saps at short, Chris Ramos at second, Michael O'Rourke at first, with the catcher Anthony Miller behind the plate. Designated hitter today is Jacob Salazar. So Freddie Freeman steps to the plate. He is hitting .277, 13 homers, 43 runs batted in.
Yep.
At the knees, strike 1. And he waits on the curveball but bounces it to first, fielded cleanly by O'Rourke. He steps on the bag, and there are 2 away. O'Rourke is usually playing in the outfield, so first base is just a spot start for him to give Don Mattingly a rest at first. So the left fielder, check that. Andrew Benintendi is hitting .273, 12 homers, 54 runs batted in. Steps to the plate with 2 away. And he slices it foul down the third base line. Strike 1. And it is a line drive into foul territory. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Benintendi. And again, another foul ball. Count remains 0-2. In there, caught looking, strike 3, side retired. So after 2 innings of baseball, it's an 8-0 lead for the Bronx Knights. They are cruising. So we go to the top of the third, the lineup turns over. Max Lukelich is 1 for 2. Steps in for his 3rd plate appearance in the 3rd inning. Pitches outside from Wendelken, ball 1.
1 ball, no strike.
And that is a line drive which may drop in there, and no, beautiful catch by Shane Victorino in center, and there's 1 away. What a catch. So the American League West standings, as you can see, the Bronx Knights are leading the division, 73-37 record. Seattle 61-48. It's an 11.5 game lead. And if today stays the way it is at the moment, it'll be a 12.5 game lead. So Margot is 2 for 2. He steps in with 1 out. Base is clear. Inside, backs him off the plate. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. Margot is carrying a modest 6-game hitting streak into this contest. And it's a deep drive, but playable for Benintendi in left. He makes the catch for out number 2. Routine play. So with 2 away here in the third, Chris Ramos steps again up to the plate for his 3rd plate appearance. He is 1 for 2 with a single. He has 44 home runs to lead the American League. And we're only in the first week of August. It's a slow roller up the first base line. Nice play by the pitcher covering. And there the side is retired. So, 2.5. Bronx Knights lead 8-0. So we'll go to the bottom of the third. Drew Mendoza is hitting .298, 15 homers, 56 runs batted in. He was last year's Rookie of the Year in the American League. Swings at a pitch high and outside, fouls it off for strike 1. He is 7 for his last 20. It's a .350 clip. Breaking ball at the knees. No, calls it a ball. So the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Mendoza. And he lines this down to third base line, but it curves foul. Strike 2. Swing and a miss. That's a strike 3, and there's 1 away. That is strikeout number 5 for Patrick Joseph. High leg kick. Downward delivery, and that ball just drops out of sight. Kind of a tailing fastball or split finger or something. Kevon Biggio's hitting .281, 15 homers, 54 runs batted in. Takes a breaking ball inside for ball number 1. The son of the Houston Astro great, Craig Biggio, hits right into the teeth of the shift. Kevon does. Ramos long throw to first, but in time for the second out. And the number 9 hitter, Gary Carter, hitting .308, 14 homers, 54 runs batted in. It's a pretty good number 9 hitter. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Joseph delivers. Outside corner, strike 1. Checks his swing, pitches outside, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch is low, 2-1. Gary Carter was a member of the New York Mets, 1986 World Champions against the Boston Red Sox. All-Star, Hall of Famer. Little late on the fastball, drives it to foul territory down the first base line. Count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the third. And it's deep in the hole, it's short. Saps plants, fires. He, not in time. It is an infield single. So it's a base hit for Gary Carter. Saps couldn't quite, stopped it from going into the outfield. Nice range, but couldn't get enough on the throw. So the leadoff hitter Shane Victorino, who struck out in the first, is up for his 2nd plate appearance. Runner at first and 2 down. At the knees, strike 1. Patrick Joseph has 10 wins and 4 losses on the season. Breaking ball, and the count is 0-2 on Shane. Outside corner, caught him looking, strike 3, side retired. So after 3 innings of baseball, not much has changed. It's an 8-run lead for the Bronx Knights.
Ladies and gentlemen,
taking over in relief here in the top of the 4th, Jairo Diaz. Game number 37 for him. He's 1-2 with a 3.63 earned run average. And the first man he will face in the 4th is Michael O'Rourke. Mike's 2 for 2.
the first baseman, Mike O'Rourke.
Grounds it up the middle. He dropped the ball but knocked it down. Pitcher fires to first. In time, there's 1 away. Nice play by Diaz. So the line score for Eduardo Rodriguez, 2/3 of an inning, 7 hits, 7 earned runs.
Salazar.
That is a forgettable line. So Jacob Salazar, the switch hitting designated hitter, is 1 for 2. And he pops him up. Short right field. Kevon Biggio settles under it, makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, number 79.
So with 2 outs, Matt Termini steps up. He has 2 singles today. It's 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. And it's a line drive right at Biggio to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Diaz. And after 3.5, it's the Knights 8, the Mariners nothing. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Fernando Tatis Jr. struck out in the first. He's 0 for 1. He steps in against Patrick Joseph and lines it foul up the first baseline. Strike 1. Tatis Jr. has 6 triples on the season. At the knees, strike 2. Count is 0-2. Seems like Patrick Joseph is sharp today. Foul tip into the glove. It is a strikeout for the out number 1. That's Joseph's 7th strikeout of the game. We're only in the 4th inning. Nice job by Millo to grab that foul tip. So Paul Molitor's up. He is 0 for 1. He also struck out in the first. And it is a line drive, but Margot in right barely has to move. And there are 2 away.
Now batting, the right fielder, Nelson.
So Nelson Cruz is 0 for 1 with a ground out in the 2nd inning. He's up there with 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 96 on the radar gun. Breaking ball, high breaking ball, called strike 2 by the home plate umpire. And he just gets a piece of it and lines it down the first base line into foul territory, and the count will remain 0-2 on Cruz. Late on the fastball. Stay right where we are. Do it again. Swing and a miss out in front. And there's 2 away, and that's strikeout number 8. Now check that. The side is retired on strikeout number 8. Patrick Joseph's pitched 4 shutout innings. And at the end of 4, it's Bronx Knights 8, the Mariners nothing. So we go to the top of the 5th. Matt Saps has an RBI single today. He's 1 for 1. Bullpen is active for the Mariners. 2 right-handers are up warming. High, ball 1. Kyle Hendricks and Hunter Wood are warming up. Hendricks and Wood both pitched yesterday. Fouls off the 2-seam fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Saps is usually the designated hitter. He's playing shortstop today. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And he grounds it down the third base line. 2-hopper to Paul Molitor. Long throw in time. 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Nice play by Paul Molitor.
Now batting, number 43.
So the number 7 hitter today is Anthony Millo. He has a single today. He's 1 for 2. He is the average of 248. Fouls off the 98-mile-an-hour fastball for strike number 1. Anthony was hitting 220 for most of April and May, so he's kind of trying to lift it up. The 2-hopper to Tatis Jr. at short. He throws across the diamond, and there are 2 outs.
The left fielder, number 11, Hunter.
So Hunter Renfroe had a 3-run home run in the first inning to cap that 7-run first inning. He is 1 for 2. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Fouls off the two-seam fastball for strike one. Pitch is low, count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Renfroe. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Just gets a piece of the two-seam fastball. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. It's an 8-0 lead. And he hits a deep drive the other way. Long run for Nelson Cruz at the track. Looking up, he makes the catch at the wall to retire the side. So 4.5 complete. The Knights lead 8-0. So we go to Heidi Watney, our sideline reporter in the dugout, but unfortunately there's something wrong with her microphone. We're going to have to cut away and send a technician down there to check that out. In the meantime, we will go to the bottom of the 5th. Freddie Freeman is 0 for 1. He grounded out in the 2nd. He steps in here in the bottom of the 5th against Patrick Joseph, who is pitching great. Slow roller bouncer, check that to Michael O'Rourke at first base. He takes it himself over to the bag, and 1 pitch, 1 away. Benintendi steps up. He struck out in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Deep drive. Long run for Luklich in center, but he makes the catch in right center field. 2 pitches, 2 away. Joseph is cruising. Here's the replay. He had a chance for a double, but the speed of Luklich just tracked it. So with 2 outs, Drew Mendoza steps in, struck out in the 3rd, like most of the team. Just low. Joseph wanted that pitch at the knees, but it's ball 1. Breaking ball legitimately low. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. And he lazy fly ball down the right field line. Margot is there. He makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning and 5 shutout innings for Joseph. At the end of 5, it's the Knights 8, the Mariners nothing. So we'll go to the top of the 6th. The lineup turns over yet again. Max is 1 for 3 with a single. His average is at 321 on the season. Jairo Diaz is still out there. Outside, ball 1. Max has 84 runs scored. Line drive just missed the bag at 3rd. Foul ball, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. At that pace, he should have 110, 120 runs by the time the season's over. And it is a slow fly ball which will... Oh, beautiful catch! That is the 2nd time today that Shane Victorino in center has stolen a base hit from Luklich. This time he charges in towards home plate and makes a shoestring sliding face-first catch. What a nice play. So, with 1 out, Manuel Margot steps to the plate. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Swing and a miss out in front of the slider, strike 1. High and tight. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Margot. And that one's a line drive, and that should be in there, and it is. That is a single for Margot, and he's got 3. No, I'm not sure. I think he might have 3 hits in the game. But in any event, big leg kick, one-handed swing, line drive into left center field. So next up with a runner at first is Chris Ramos, who is 1 for 3 today. 2 for 7 in this series with a home run. Late on the slider, strike 1. Margot leads off first. And it is a deep drive in the gap, but playable for Shane Victorino for out number 2. raced over to the left center field, checked out the right center field gap to make the play. Margot retreats to first. So Michael O'Rourke's 2 for 3 with 2 singles, 2 runs scored. He's got that average up to 350. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Pitch is high, ball 1. He has a .410 on base percentage. Anything over 400 is an excellent on base percentage. That's a line drive. Nice leaping catch by Cavan Biggio to retire the side. Stole a hit. Nice defense in this inning for the Mariners, even though their head is still in it, even though they're losing 8-0. They certainly haven't given up. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Cavan Biggio grounded out in the 3rd. He's 0 for 1. Joseph's obviously is still out there pitching a shutout. And it's in there, strike 1. The shift is on. 3 infielders are on the right side of the infield. Only the 3rd baseman, Termini, is at the left, guarding the left side of the infield by himself. And the fastball is fouled off. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. So obviously they intend for him to pull the ball. And it is a line drive to center, but Luklich is there, barely has to move, makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting.
So the number 9 hitter, Gary Carter, singled in the 3rd. He's 1 for 1. Misses outside, ball 1. It's 5 for his last 11. .455 average. And that is a lazy fly ball to left. Renfroe makes the catch for out number 2. So with 2 away, Shane Victorino steps up to the plate. He's 1 for 7 in the series. He struck out twice today. In there, strike 1. Joseph is sharp today. And he gets a piece of the curveball inside. Strike 2. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. And that's a deep drive, but it will curve into the seats, a foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases empty here in the bottom of the 6th. It's an 8-0 lead for the Knights. And that's a hit. That's a line drive over the head of the shortstop. Oh! And Hunter Renfroe misplays it, and the single will go for a single and most likely an error, as Shane Victorino makes it to second. So he cuts over into the left center field gap, hits off the heel of his glove, then he loses his balance. And by the time all that happens, Victorino finds himself on second base. So, 2 outs, runner in scoring position for Fernando Tatis Jr., who struck out twice today. He's 0 for 2. And he pulls it foul down the third base line, strike 1. We are in August, the first week of August. Fernando Tatis Jr. already has 114 strikeouts. And that's a line drive down the first base line, the other way, foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes. And he grounds it foul, pulls it. Still 2 strikes. And he's late on it, fouls it into the seats the other way. Grounds it to the pitcher, stabs it, throws to first to retire the side. 6 shutout innings. After 6 innings of baseball, it's the Bronx Knights 8, the Seattle Mariners nothing.
Your attention, please.
The Hunter Wood comes in relief here for the top of the 7th inning. He has 42 games under his belt. His record is 5-4 with a 5.94 earned run average. He will face Jacob Salazar, who's 1 for 3 with a single.
The designated hitter.
And he's a little late on the fastball, strike 1. And he fouls the fastball upstairs. The count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Salazar. This time he's out in front, pulls it down the first base line. He's hitting from the left side against the righty Hunter Wood. No balls, 2 strikes. 2-hopper to Biggio, makes the throw, and there is 1 away here in the top of the 7th.
The batter, number 79.
So with 1 out, Matt Termini, the third baseman, steps up. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs batted in, a run scored. And he's late on the changeup. Strike 1. Ground ball to his counterpart at third. Molitor throws across the diamond, and there are 2 away.
Now batters, number 31.
Matt Saps has an RBI single today. He's 1 for 2. He's hitting .287, 21 home runs, 70 runs batted in on the season. Out in front of the changeup, strike 1. He grounds it to the third baseman, backhanded stab, long throw for Molitor, and he retires aside. So get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the 7th inning stretch here at T-Mobile Park. It's not a good game for the home fans. The Bronx Knights lead 8-0. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Paul Molitor is 0 for 2. He's struck out, he's lined out. His average is sitting at .296. And he's late on the fastball, drives it into the seats down the first base line, strike 1. Pulls this one down the third base line, strike 2. This one hits the other way, long fly ball into the right field corner. Margot makes the catch in front of the warning track for out number 1.
Now batter, the right fielder, Nelson.
Right fielder Nelson Cruz steps up with 1 out in the 7th. He's 0 for 2, like most of his teammates. And it is a ground ball to the third baseman. Saps ranges to his left, makes the throw, and there are 2 away. Nice play by Termini.
The first baseman, number 5.
And up there with 2 outs is the first baseman Freddie Freeman, who's 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. Checks his swing, but it's at the knees, strike 1. Breaking ball, strike 2. Inside corner, strike 1. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Okay, I love you, babe. Bye-bye. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. It's an 8-0 lead for the Bronx Knights here at T-Mobile Park. Second game of a 4-game set. Freeman fouls it off the first base line. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Knights won the first game of this 4-game set 11-3, if I'm not mistaken. And they're leading this game, the second game of the set, 8-0. So if this was any sort of statement series for the Mariners, they haven't made it. Hits right into the teeth of the ship from short right field. Chris Ramos throws him out, and the side is retired. We go to the 8th, the 7 shutout innings for Joseph, and the Bronx Knights lead 8-0. So leading off the top of the 8th, Anthony Millo is 1 for 3 with a single. Hunter Wood is still out there, second inning of work. And he skies it the other way at the right field line. Nelson Cruz makes the catch for out number 1. Pitcher comparison, as you can see, Joseph's still in the game. He hasn't given up. He's given up 2 runs. He's given up no runs and 2 hits and 8 strikeouts. Eduardo Rodriguez did make it out of the first inning, gave up 7 runs and 7 hits. So I think we know who won that matchup. So 3-run home run in the first for Hunter Renfroe. He's 1 for 3. He steps in for his fourth plate appearance. 1 out here in the 8th. Out in front of the changeup, strike
No
1.
ball, 1 strike.
A little late on the fastball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Hunter. Hunter Renfroe versus Hunter Wood. Just gets a piece of the changeup to stay alive. Count is 0-2. Did he check his swing? Yes, he did, according to the first base umpire. Attendance 39,512 here at T-Mobile. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. And this one he pulls down the third base line, foul ball. Outside, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouls the cut fastball behind the plate upstairs. Count will remain 2-2 with 1 out. Outside corner, strike 3. And there are 2 away. Hunter Wood wins the battle with his first strikeout of this bullpen appearance. Max Lukulich is 1 for 4 with a single. It's 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Outside, ball 1. He had 2 base hits stolen from him from the center fielder, Shane Victorino. And this might happen again. It's a bloop. And it will, this one finally will drop. He's going for second. He will not make it. For some reason, with an 8-run lead, he had to push it to go to second base. So he had a single, and he's thrown out at second. And after 7.5, it's still an 8-0 lead for the Bronx Knights. Doesn't make any sense. So leading off the bottom of the 8th is Andrew Benintendi. He is 0 for 2. Joseph's still out there. The pitch is in there, strike 1. 93 on the radar gun. Seems to have lost a little bit of velocity, but we are in the 8th inning. Just gets a piece of the curveball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. He is still obviously getting ahead of hitters. And he grounds it, jammed on the inside to the first baseman. O'Rourke takes it himself, and there is 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Take me out to the ball game. Outlander Show. Welcome. Thank you for poking your head in and having a look. It's 8-0 here in this second game of a 4-game series against the Seattle Mariners in T-Mobile Park. On the strength of a 7-run first inning by the Bronx Knights. Hasn't been much activity since that 7-run first inning, but I'm not complaining. So there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th, and up steps Cavan Biggio, the second baseman and son of Hall of Famer Craig Biggio. He is 0 for 2 today. And he grounds it foul up the first, check that third base line, strike 1. Stop the game, it's 8-0, both teams get ice cream. I said to myself before the season started that I intend to play every inning of every game of this 162-game schedule. No simulating games, no fast simulating innings. I'm playing them all. I want them all to count. And that's a line drive down the first base line, pulls into the seats. The count is now 0-2 on Biggio. I will tonight in a half hour or so jump on and play another game if you're around. So this is not my last game of the night. So the shift was on. Long run for Hunter Renfroe into the left field corner. He will not make the catch, and it will one-hop to the wall. And he's going to try for third. And he will make it. So because of the shift, where everybody was shifted over to the right side, he basically fouled it off the end of the bat, blooped it. I'm here till the end. Not sure why it says 0 watching. Well, I'm glad you're here. Just so you know, I am playing another game regardless. So if you want to poke in about a half an hour after this one ends, you are more than welcome. I'm going to get somebody up in the bullpen because if that runner at third scores, there's no longer a shutout and there's no reason to manager mound. There's no reason to push the envelope with Patrick Joseph if he doesn't no longer have the shutout. Perfect, I'll be here. Very cool. Thank you. If not, no love lost, but it's always nice to have a friendly person in the comments. So, Hall of Fame catcher Gary Carter is up next. He's 1 for 2 with a single in the third. There are 2 outs with the runner at third base, so deep fly ball curving into the seats for strike number 1. Hit a homer for little Timmy. I will do my best. So, Gary Carter's 3 for 6 in this series so far. Count is 0-1. Outside corner, strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 9 for Joseph, and he's pitched 8 shutout innings as the Bronx Knights lead 8-0. Oh, yeah. So we go to the top of the 9th in Safeco. Manuel Margot, who's playing right field today, is 3 for 4. Hunter Wood is still out there in his 3rd inning of work. And he pops it up the elevator shaft. Gary Carter jumps out of his crouch, makes the catch on the first base line. 1 pitch, 1 away. So second baseman Chris Ramos is 1 for 4 with a single today. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Hunter Wood. Line drive past the reaching first baseman and into right field. It is his 2nd hit of the ball game, and he's 2 for 5. So they have a runner at first here with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Line drive, Freddie Freeman unable to get his glove on it. Solid hit. So next up is Michael O'Rourke, the left fielder, who's playing first base today. He's 2 for 4. Pitches high, ball 1.
1 ball, no strike.
Backdoor cut fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on O'Rourke. It chases a 2-seam fastball, and now the count is 1-2 with 1 out here in the 9th. Ramos leads off first. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, chases an outside fastball, and there's 2 away. Here's the replay.
Designated hitter, Jacob.
So, Jacob Salazar steps up. He is 1 for 4 with a 2-run single today. 2 outs here. Pitches low and outside, ball 1. Jacob usually plays shortstop. He's today's designated hitter. Checks the swing, cut fastballs outside. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Ramos leads off first. There's 2 away. And it is a slow roller up the third base line. Long run for Hunter Wood. He makes a strong throw. Not in time. It's an infield single for Jacob Salazar. And with 2 outs, they have runners at first and second. So up steps Matt Termini, the third baseman, who's 2 for 4 today. He has 2 runs batted in. It's up to 56 RBIs on the season. Does have a chance for another RBI at second, but he's going to need a hit. Let's see what happens. And that's a bloop that's probably going to drop in front of Shane Victorino. And it is an RBI single for Matt Termini. And the score is 9-0 Knights. Clutch 2-out hit to center. Let's look at the replay. Again, swings at the first pitch and just bloops it out in front of Shane Victorino, who's been stealing base hits from runners, from hitters all night long. But not this time.
Your attention, please.
So, pitching change. Steve Bedrosian
Number 40.
23 games he's pitched. His record is 1-2. He does have 5 saves. His ERA is 4.58. Comes in to get that last out in the ninth. Matthew Saps has an RBI single today. He's 1 for 3. Takes low, ball 1. Low and inside. Steve Bedrosian, if I'm not mistaken, pitched for the Cincinnati Reds.
Ball 2.
Count as 2 balls and no strikes. In the 1990s, something's telling me 1990s championship ball club like the Reds or something. Lazy fly ball to right. Nelson Cruz is there. He makes the catch to retire the side. So we go to the bottom of the ninth. It's 9-run lead for the Bronx Knights. Can Seattle catch up and score 9 runs to tie? We shall see. We shall see. So the only drama left in this matchup is to find out if Patrick Joseph can pitch a complete game shutout, or will he give up a run and have a relief pitcher come in. Shane Victorino steps in to lead off the ninth. He's 1 for 3 with a double. And here he goes. First pitch swinging, drives it to shallow to center. He makes the catch, 1 pitch, 1 away. 2 outs left for the shutout. Fernando Tatis Jr. 0 for 3. And this one, he swings at the second pitch. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Both of them go to Lukulich in center, and they are down to their final out of the ball game.
Now batting, third baseman.
Hall of Famer Paul Molitor playing third base today is 0 for 3. Three pitches, 3 outs. Under it is Renfroe. He makes the catch. Side retired. Ball game over. Bronx Knights win 9-0. Winning pitcher Patrick Joseph gets his 11th win of the season in a complete game shutout. And they take the second of this 4-game set. They've won the first 2 games in this 4-game set in Seattle. Their division lead is up to 12.5 games. It's win number 74 on the season for the Bronx Knights against 37 losses. So let's do this the right way. Bronx Knights, 9 runs, 17 hits, no errors. Seattle Mariners, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. Patrick Joseph gets the win. It's his 11th. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the loss. I have no idea what his win-loss record is. And of course, the player of the game is the starting pitcher, Patrick Joseph. A 3-hit shutout, 9 strikeouts. He is your player of the game. And that is a broadcast of Bronx Knights Baseball, a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for the PlayStation 4. I am RC Robin. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel. If you're interested in video games other than baseball, check out the other playlists on the YouTube channel. They've got other video games like Control, like Cyberpunk 2077, like The Last of Us 2. We also play Dungeons and Dragons, which is not a video game. It's a tabletop role-playing game. We usually do it once a week, and we have a playlist dedicated to that. It says Dungeons and Dragons. Check it out. I'm sure you'll find it interesting. In any event, for those of you that are interested, I will pop my head back in this same evening and play another game. It'll be like a doubleheader. So if you're interested, I will see you soon. But until then, have yourself a great night, and I will talk to you soon.